accomplished man with the ability to bring all sides to the table. Recipient of Essex County Martin Luther King Jr. Award, he personified both the spirit and the substance of civil rights, soft-spoken, yet determined to accomplish his goals with grace and dignity. That is the manner in which he led the Essex County Democratic Committee as chairman for 12 years, as an elected official in the city of East Orange, as a councilman, as a county freeholder, and certainly a county register. Also in the private sphere, Phil worked to develop low and moderate income housing. A track star in high school and Seton Hall University, he was a gentleman with a kind heart. He was an adoring husband, father, and grandfather who spent a lifetime breaking down racial barriers and bringing people of goodwill to common solution. He will be missed. Dedicated on today, 2014, Joseph N. DiVincenzo Jr., Essex County Executive, and the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, always putting Essex County first.
Go ahead, Donald. On the side, Leroy.
All right, Rick, it's your turn now, Rick.
Boy, you reap what you sow. Thank you to our Essex County Executive. Thank you to the Mayor of Newark, Luis Quintana, for being here. Thank you, Congressman Payne, and to all the people here today. I feel like all of Essex County is a part of the Thigpen family. So on behalf of my mother, who's not here today, not feeling well, who was married to my father for 61 years, my two older brothers, and I would like to point out there really is a Phil Jr., in spite of the fact everybody calls me Phil. His 4 grandchildren, including his niece Amanda here. Speaking of reaping what we sow, she's now going to be going to Cornell School of Public Health. And for my father, that will be number 7 for Ivy League degrees in his family. To my cousin Gail, standing in for my father, Gail and her brother Donald Thigpen, Gail Thigpen Allen. Everywhere I go, they ask me, am I related to Gail? And I never want to speak after Leroy Jones or Donald Payne again about my father. But thank you both very much for being here. I can't tell you how much this means to me. My father has taught me so much. I've had so many people be so supportive and so many expressions of well-wish, of well-being and support for my family. It's truly remarkable to be my father's son. You know, it's really special to have the guy you call Dad be recognized by so many people. And Joe D., I want to thank you again for this. Truly appreciate it. It's a very special day for all of us. And you didn't have to do it, and you did it. So thank you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, my father gave us so much. He, as Leroy Jones mentioned, a commitment to equal rights and civil rights, a commitment to excellence. You know, I'll just say a very few things. You know, he gave me a second father also, and he was a very, very great man, and his name was Donald Payne. And he taught me quite a bit also. And you know, excuse me, Congressman, I will say, yes, he made jokes about you in private too. So when we're good, I won't repeat them to people today, but he was on you. And I remember one time after Donald Payne Jr. became a congressman, second African-American ever to be elected to Congress in New Jersey. You know, my father was hard on him, like he was on Leroy, but they can do better, like he was on me. You can do better, you can push more. So one day I got my computer out and I pulled up the Congressman Payne website and showed him some speeches of Donald on the floor. So I thought he'd watch for a second. We go back to watching the baseball game or whatever. And he kept watching. Ended up walking away, doing a couple other things, came back. He was still watching, and he was truly proud of you, Donald. And he was proud to see that he was taking his responsibilities so seriously and was really doing his best to represent the people of this county, and the county of Union, the county of Hudson, and to really become the public servant that he knew you were capable of being. So I want you to know that. And Leroy Jones, I'll say something very similar. My father was certainly hard on you, and he worked on you for many years, and he was constantly driving you to do what he knew you were capable of doing. And I know he would be very proud to sit here today to see what you have become. And he would be very happy to know that you're the gentleman who has replaced him as the county chairman. It is quite a responsibility. It's not easy to bring Essex County together. But everybody knows that Phil Thigpen put Essex County first. And some people are still mad at him for standing by Joe D, but he did it, and he's proud of it. And Joe D, you have a record to stand by. Not everything is perfect. We don't always agree on everything. And my cousin Bunny is here. I'm sorry, Bunny, I didn't even see you sitting over there. The president, the executive director of the Newark Public Library. No, I'm sorry, wave your hand, come on. Say hello to Will McRae, everybody, please. All of Essex County is in the Thigpen family. That's my new mantra. I can't thank everybody enough for all that you have done and all you've said to me about my father. I've learned quite a bit about him. He's really made my life special. Like I said, I have a second father, but I have so many uncles and cousins who are willing to give me candid advice about the challenges I face and the challenges we face in this county. I really feel I have an extra leg up to succeed because of all that he's done. So on behalf of my entire family, my brothers, my mother, the grandchildren, all of our cousins, and we have quite a big family, I want to thank everybody for taking the trouble to come here today. You really do reap what you sow, and he would really be proud. You know, in his last day, you know what I said to my father in the last day? I'll see you later, Dad. It's one thing I regret, and it was just amazing to find out that I would never speak to him again. But he lived a great life, and I think it was Tom Giblin who said he died with his boots on. He died at work. 2 months short of his 88th birthday, he died at work. And it kept him young because he was doing what he loved. He didn't have people trying to tell him what to do. You know, I work in public service. I don't always have that privilege. And it really, he lived a life that I hope I can emulate. I hope that I can accomplish some of what he accomplished. If I can be half the man that my father was, I will help also make this county a better place. So once again, Joe, I want to thank you for what you've done today. I want to thank you all for being here today. My family is so proud to be named Thigpen, I can't tell you, and we're so proud of what he's accomplished. And we hope that we can continue honoring his name. And I hope that when you all see me, you will speak to me and that you will think that I am following my father's footsteps. I'm going to try that to the best of my ability. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Rick, and to your entire family. Thank you for sharing him with us. Let's welcome again Arlette to give us another song in tribute and celebrating.
There's a skies are blue, and the dreams that we dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where
I would like to defer the benediction prayer for myself to the senior clergy in the room. My brother, my friend who prays and has been praying longer and stronger than I ever have, mentor of mine, Monsignor Kelly. Please, let's give God some praise for him.
Thank you, Pastor. As a young 10-year-old on that Seton Hall wooden track, it's the first I came to admire and look up to and know Phil Thigpen. I think all of the words that have been said today spiritually can best be summed up by referring to Phil as the Good Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me rest in green pastures. There is nothing we shall want. Eternal rest grant unto Phil, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. And may his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, with the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.
Everybody just join us outside. Yeah, Chuck, just give me a second shot. Oh, go ahead. No respect. Excuse me, Sheila! Yes, sir. Come on, Charlie, go ahead, Charlie.
Don't be having your flag all willy-nilly all over the place.
This one?
Don't be having your flag
All right, Lenny, come on.
while you waiting, you have it all willy-nilly.
Roll this!
You got the right leg?
Sheriff here. Come over here. We got one more comment.
Jackie, take a picture of every shot. I don't know how to work on phone. You know how to do that? No, I don't real quick.
Right here.
Go to the picture and check me. Then we'll get random. We'll just keep it. Tell Jackie. I don't like, I don't got that.
I'm at yours, Brett. Ready? Oh, I got Paul.
Officially, yeah. Okay. Did you get it?
Underneath the pantry after the microphone.
I came out. How are you? She has a long
There's a tradition that the chairman used to have to light lunch. Like some weekend. A pear, an apple, a little cheese,
We got a lot to yeah, thanks for
As I always say, any day in the park is a great day, but today's even more special. One, our cherry blossoms are in their display, will continue for the next 10 days. And today we're going to announce our next project that for many of us here today have been asking for and hoping that today would come, and here we are. To hear about this great project, I'd like to call overview of the project. Mary?
It really is a spectacular day. I think what we should do to describe the project is just all walk the 2 miles. You know, it would be great. Get the mic here. Oh, they can hear me. I feel like I should sing now. So it's wonderful, and I hope you'll kind of take a look someday, just at least drive around where you can see on the map. It has always been just an honor to work on Branch Brook Park, and I am so grateful to the Branch Brook Park Alliance and Barbara Belcomen for letting us have this opportunity to do that and having us be a part of the design and to be partners with Joe and Dan and the county and all of the guys at the Public Works who join in doing this. The map here is pretty self-explanatory. It's a this is Bloomfield. This is Heller, where you just came off of. There is a winding walk path. It's historic that went around. It basically follows the roadway, moving in and out of the close to the waterways. It crosses the waterways in a couple of places, and then there's some cross paths that go this way. It has been in increasing need of repair, and as all walkways, you know, once you get runners and walkers on it, if there's a puddle in the middle, they run around it, and then so the path widens in places, and the plants encroach in certain places, and it narrows. And the historic character of it was lost, as well as it was getting just too hard for joggers to run on it. So they run, if you see, they run on the roadway, which really isn't very safe. And it's not good for their knees either. So what we're going to do is we're going to realign this historic path, smoothing out the curves and cleaning it up along the way. It will be back to its historic 8-foot width. It will be covered or paved with a flexible material, a rubberized surface that's made for running and jogging, but is strong enough to hold up to maintenance and to if somebody takes a bicycle on there or something, it's not gonna kill it. It's also true that, let's see, right here, and right here, there will be 3 exercise nodes. Each one has 2 pieces of equipment in it. And so the whole thing will be not only accessible and to the whole community, but also give them an opportunity to have places to exercise, and especially on a day like this, who would rather be outside than be in here on a day like that. Also, it's having this project gives us an opportunity to clean up a lot of storm damage, which you know there certainly was, and we want to make the route safe and make sure that the trees are not dying in its place. So we've had some takedowns that already happened. There's pruning going on as we speak. And then around the exercise nodes, there's going to be some plantings that we hope will nicely screen the exercise roads so they feel like nice and cozy, but not totally, so that there's good sight lines from the roadway and people feel safe to be in there. And this, I think, is just a beautiful. I had nothing to do with this beautiful picture, but it does give you an idea of the pathway and the exercise nodes that we're going to be using.
Thanks, Mayor. Also with us, I would like to just recognize we have Lori Tanner from our Open Space Chairwoman for financial support to the project. We also have Ted Stevens Surrogate is with us, and also freeholder Lenny Luciano. Thanks for being here, Lenny. Yes, just speak. Okay. All right. I got it covered. Trust me. Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, Lenny. All right. Also, I'd like to call on our Vice President, Pat Siebold, and Freeholder Bobadilla to come forward to say a few words about the project. Freeholder Pat Siebold.
I have to make sure I protect the freeholders so that they're not omitted. Oh, this is really, I'm gonna hold it. I'm really happy to be here today, and I'm happy that this project is underway, and I'm happy that I'm the freeholder liaison on Open Space Trust Fund, where Lori Tanner serves as the chair, and I'm happy that we voted, and it went to the freeholder board and was approved to give money to this wonderful, wonderful project, and I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's completed, and I'm sure it's going to be terrific, and I'm really happy to work with Barbara Bell Coleman, who's head of the Alliance for Branchbrook Park, and I shouldn't mention Anibal Ramos, because am I taking something away from someone? Because Anibal is running for council in the city of Newark, and since we're in Newark and you're here, I couldn't not mention that. So
this is in his ward.
I know, and it's also in Rolando's Bobadilla's ward. So freeholder Rolando Bobadilla. Not to mention one thing, I'm very happy to be here representing the Freeholder Board.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, you know, if you look at my pictures that I put on Facebook, you know that I'm in the park all the time, if not with my kids, with my dog, and so I enjoy this park tremendously. You know, I gotta say thank you to you, Joe, and the administration for all the work that you guys do and really investing in the quality of life for not only young people, but families as a whole. And so as the Freeholder Board, I can always tell you that we're always going to be supportive of everything you do with open space and improving the quality of life. Thank you for having me here.
Just want to acknowledge our undersheriff with us today, Kevin Ryan, for his support. And the councilman.
You have to have the sheriff say something.
You on the sheriff? On the sheriff? On the sheriff? Mr. Ryan?
Call me sheriff. Don't want to get me whacked, call me sheriff. On behalf of Sheriff Fontour, who is with his family out of state, excuse me, celebrating his birthday actually today. We've been partnered with the County Executive Freeholder Board for years. This is another tremendous project. Echoing on what the freeholder said about the children and the activities in here, that is so important to have things and structured activities for the kids because it keeps them out of trouble, which helps us tremendously in the law enforcement community. But we're committed to this park. There are always officers assigned in here on a regular basis. One of which who's out here directing traffic has a vested interest in the community. He invested. He lives right adjacent to the park, so he takes personal pride, as do the other officers that are assigned here. And on behalf of the sheriff, just thank you for having us. Take care.
Thanks, Kevin. Representing the North Ward, Councilman Aniba Ramos, say a few words.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. As the sitting councilman who is running for re-election on May 13th, it's not a plug, it's a reality. I'm delighted to be here today, and I'm very grateful to our great county executive, Joseph DiVincenzo, to Barbara Bell Coleman, to the foundation community, and the Open Space Trust Fund, who made this project a reality. I'm also a neighbor. I live within walking distance from here, and actually ran track here when I was in high school. Senator Ruiz mentioned that she's very grateful for the rubberized track because she is getting older, she said, and it's going to be a little bit lighter on her knees. But to Joe, I just want to say again, thank you. You've been a role model when it comes to renovating parks, not only here in the county of Essex, but throughout the city of Newark. The city of Newark, this past week, we had a press conference with the mayor, where we acknowledged the fact that we're celebrating Earth Day, but we also celebrated that the city of Newark now also has its own Green Acres program, and it was legislation that I sponsored last year, and in 2014 we're going to collect about $1.4 million that we're going to be able to reinvest in our city park system. So we model ourselves, we're learning, Joe, and congratulations and thank you very much.
The co-president and the tenant in 115 Clifton Avenue has done a tremendous job in helping our county executive get this park where it is today, and I know her love is going to continue with this park for many centuries. Barbara Bell Coleman. Barbara?
Centuries. Don't I look good? I look good. Centuries. Normally I would pay tribute to Joe first, but he's going to go last today because the one person I always forget is our councilman of the North Ward, Aniba Ramos. And then I'm always sending him notes saying, I forgot to mention you. So please accept this. You've been a great neighbor and a great friend and a great supporter. This has been a long-awaited moment. Most of you just think that, okay, this project got started a couple of months ago, but our donors will know that they gave us the awards in 2012, which meant I had to bring them to the park in 2011 and 2010. So I say to Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the Horizon Foundation, we are so grateful for the beginning work that you have done and the monies that you gave to us. It is coming to fruition, and I need a copy of this sign so that I can send it to both of those agencies for proof certain. The one tremendous thing that happened when I brought Robert Wood Johnson Foundation here was to say, we really need $1 million, $700,000 of which went into this project, was when we toured the park around this whole 2-mile loop, everybody was in the street. The cars were moving over to get away from people. So that was the best day that we could have happened. And with Horizon, they have been a long-standing partner, really, of this park for decades. And if you see the old decayed exercise stations, those were given many years ago by Horizon. So it was an easy lift for them to say, yes, of course, we will join with you. We did not have enough money, however, to do a rubberized track. We only had enough money to put down the old stone dust. And that has been historically very, very good. But with modern technology, with maintenance issues, the county executive who said, Barbara, we can't go forward. We have to raise the additional amount of money. So the project was again delayed. So I think most of you know George to the rescue, who's the home building guy. Well, Joe to the rescue is my new guy, because Joe to the rescue was able to reach out to our dearest of partners and friends, the Open Space Trust Recreational Fund, and provided the balance of the monies that were needed to get us over the edge to in fact have the rubberized track laid down. So while the project was delayed, it was delayed for good reason. And Laurie, I can't thank you and the county executive, my new Joe to the rescue enough for really doing what the people wanted. So thank you, Joe. You've been the best partner. I think all of you know we're closing in on our $50 million goal. And we will celebrate that this June. And there's just no way on God's green earth that we would have ever been able to raise that kind of money without the county executive's day-to-day support. So Joe, we salute you, we thank you, and it's all been great. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. Now, Tedesco, our state senator, deputy chief of staff, I just want to say she participated in the Family Fun Day and ran the 1 mile run with the children. After sleeping outdoors in Trenton, she came and participated, did a great job. That day she wore sneakers. I know she has a little bit of a heel on today, so you know, when you're back on the turf out there, just wear your sneakers and we'll be good. Let's hear it for our physical fitness person right here, Tessa Louise.
It is an honor to be here as a homeowner, quite frankly, and someone who was raised alongside the park, born and raised in the North Ward. Branch Brook has always been the backdrop for many family events, but if you live here, you realize the asset that we have here, and I think that there's different types of runners and athletic individuals. You see the more experienced individuals over at the Four Diamonds. They utilize that area more frequently during the day. Then you see the bikers and the runners and soccer players utilizing this area. And then there's a different component that utilizes the sports complex as their exercise fields. And yeah, I am getting older, so the rubberized surface on the knees will be a great addition to all of us who are growing in our elder years. Unlike the councilman, he said he used to run. It appears you're not running anymore. I'm just saying. But it's just wonderful to know that we don't have to go across the Passaic or over the Hudson to see phenomenal open spaces. That right here, when we have schools that come to play from across Essex County, and I think Phil Elijah can attest to this, when they utilize our open spaces, they're really in awe and quite jealous of the opportunities that the county executive, the Branch Brook Park Alliance, and our foundations have made in this investment. And that we as Norkers, we're only moving in one direction, and that's up and moving forward. And the councilman said it is a reality. The reality is I am supporting you and your entire slate, but more importantly, how proud I am of what the potential is here in this great city. The potential that my parents selected to raise their families here, the opportunities that will come in future generations. And I think, Barbara, that when Dan said centuries, it's because long after we're gone, this will forever be here for next generations that will read plaques and recognize who we are in our small capacities, that will see Joe's name engraved everywhere and wonder, who was this person with the green thumb that had the foresight to create open spaces for generations yet unborn? So I just want to say thank you. And as a member of the state legislature who had the opportunity to make investments to open space through our Green Acres program, we hope to invigorate some kind of new funding system in years ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, come on, yeah, sure.
This project is under construction of Bismarck, and Bismarck did the Concourse Hill project. They're doing the well project outside. They're doing this project. I'll only talk about the ones in this park, right, Joe? Okay. So, Camilla, why don't you come up and say a few words? Come on, you're representing Jamie.
Excuse me. What I can say about Branchview Park, I had to say thank you to all the parties that make this project and the previous project possible. It has been an honor to work with Essex County. I have been a wonderful team to work, Mary, Eamon, Sanji. So this will be another project that we will finish on time.
What's the date?
End of July. The end of July. And it's been, you know, it's wonderful. I think for the community, and you're right, last month, you know, at the beginning of this month, I was able to enjoy for the first time a program with my kids to run, and I was pleased that I was part of the project. So I definitely will be back to enjoy Lenape Trail. Thank you.
First of all, Teresa, Aniva is doing a lot of walking. So
That's true.
A lot of walking.
Just doesn't show so much.
I support you, Aniva.
Let's not all be like.
First of all, everything that's been done in the park has been a team effort. Of course, it's been my administration, Dan Savanti, and his park staff, who's truly done an outstanding job. It's been the Freeholder Board, like Pat, where's Lenny Luciano, Orlando. I just want to thank all the freeholders for support. All right, listen, we can't do any project in the county without Sanjeev Vargas.
Sanjeev!
Thank God for Sanjeev. Sanjeev Vargas made Dan Savanti. There's no question about that, Danny. And to our open space, Lori Tanner and Mary Rother for their support. You know, just think about it, Weequahic Park. All right, we work for Weequahic Park in Searcy. They have a 2-mile rubberized track there. Branchbrook today is going to have a 2-mile rubberized track. May 5th, we're opening up at South Mountain Reservation, the path around the Orange Reservoir. It's not going to be rubberized, but there's going to be a path that goes right, that's 2 miles. Brookfield Park, there's a path that we just put lights on, a 2-mile. So from one end of the county to the other end of the county, if you're talking about exercise, you're talking about getting fit, we have it from one end of the county to the other end of the county, and we're very, very proud of it. In this particular park, you know, look, we'll have over 100,000 visitors that visit this park, just looking at the cherry blossom trees. You know, 4,300 cherry blossom trees. Our goal is by next year is to have 5,000. And it's important, what we do and what we've done. But there's no question, Barbara. Barbara and I have been tied at the hip for over a long time, since the 80s. When I worked for you and you fired me, and then I had to go to the board. But she waited till I got the job done and completed the gym before she fired me. You remember, Phil?
And our offices.
And the office. And then she says, it's time for you to leave, and I left. But the things that have been accomplished the last 12 years, okay, could not have been done without the Branchville Park Alliance. And Barbara, we want to thank you. We want to thank Patty Chambers and also Pat Ryan for your help and your entire board and your entire committee, because we would not be able to do, you know, besides being all volunteers, they raised a lot of money. She was one who was responsible getting Robert Wood Johnson, Horizon. They were able to bring money in. Everything that's been done in this park, they paid for all the designs. All right, and of course we had to come up with the other money to make sure the project got complete. But this is a perfect marriage. I just had someone, a neighborhood person, come up to me. Her name's Norma Gonzalez. She's from the North Ward. And she just said up to me, she said how pleased she is with what's happening here. She's a resident here of the North Ward, and she loves the park. All right, she's been 31 years at Budweiser, and she's very impressed with things we're doing, and people love the parks. This is about quality of life. This is about economic development. And to Aniva Ramos, who has been also, I got to tell you, our partner, because when we needed money for Branchville Park, the first time we ever got money from the city is because of Aniva Ramos. So I just want to thank everyone, and also thank Teresa to make sure that the money from the state keeps on funneling our way. Thank you all very much. Go ahead, 1 second.
One more second.
One more second.
Barbara's not
We didn't-
finished.
Yeah, I'm not finished. Right,
Why did
right.
you
Hold on.
fire me for? Yeah, I got fired by a lot of people.
I fired you, but we stayed partners, did we not? Right?
It's like a
Right,
legal
we stayed
divorce. I
partners.
got divorced when you stay friends.
That's right, stayed friends, civility, right? So anyway, it made working together now a heck of a lot easier. There are two things that I'm most proud of in this park.
After you fired, I knew I had to stay close.
Stop it. Right. And I didn't fire him, please, he quit. Anyway, and I was happy. We did good things though, the three of us, right? Anyway, there are two things in this park that I'm most pleased about, and they tend not to get the most spotlight. But one of them just happened. We often talk about the lungs of a city are the trees. And the trees in this park, of which there are 15,000, plus soon to be 16,000, are very, very important, not just to the park, but to the whole city. The second thing that's most important here is the park spine, which is the waterway. For years, and that was one of the things that the community complained about when I first moved here in 1994. The stagnant water, particularly on this Western Drive, and it was just a trickle. And you know, we finally got the aerators in. That helps a little. It's more pretty than really functional, but it helps a bit. Well, just last week with Bismarck, we installed what's called a supplemental well. The first well is probably right around where we're standing, and that was put in at the end of the late 1800s, early 1900s to supply all of the lakes and streams. Well, the second well was just installed last week, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, just a few feet right across this meadow. It is as deep as 1 1/3, correct me if I'm wrong, football fields. That's how deep it is. And many of you may have seen these gigantic cranes in the air, and the vault weighs how many tons? 37 tons. And so I did invite the funders, because again, they had given me, I've been holding their money for almost 8 years now. I mean, trying to, and the very first person, Bernard Wallerstein, that gave us $45,000 for the water feasibility study, died on the day at 98, the day that this went in. But the Levins family, the Victoria Foundation, they were all here. We had a cake, we said a prayer for Bernard, and they were so...
Do you have any money for us in this trust?
Well... So his wife was 98, so we'll see. Right. We'll see what remains, because I will tell you, and they're right from Llewellyn Park.
You missed the funeral, Barbara?
I know.
You should have said a
but you know what?
contingent.
I know. Well, you know what? We're going to do a bench for it. I told him in the letter we're doing a bench for him, because it was his money that really got the other people willing to give. So I just wanted you to know you'll never see it again, because it's covered over by grass now, and soon to be covered over by grass. But it's just on the other side of the park, and on May 15th, that's when I'm told they'll flip the switch, and within a week, you should see all of the water rising on the whole Western Drive and throughout the whole park system. That is one of the most important things that could happen in this park. The second thing, and I'll be much quicker, is the fact that we were able, with the county, to open up entrances for our neighbors on the Western Drive. Historically, there were no openings on the Western Drive, so people that today live in public housing they just did not have easy access to the park. And I am so proud that under the county executive's administration, working in partnership with the Branchbrook Park Alliance, that we took care of that and made sure that not only did people on the Western Drive have access, but they had a beautiful access to come through. So civility, dignity, always. Thank you.